25 years ago, if you told me my name would be synonymous with this, I would have called you a lie. After MATC, I was very lucky that I met my ex-husband, who's from Washington, D.C. He was the national basketball coach of Nigeria. I lived in Nigeria for 15 years. I have a son, and his name is Anita Johnson, and I have linked with my sister here because she has a brother-in-law that is from Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
So I was able, so this is great. This is really great for me.
Yeah.
I am very, very passionate about the work I do because I learned to love myself.
Yes.
I learned to believe in myself. And sometimes when people call me to present, I'm like, where did you get my name from? Well, the last presentation I was at, they said, Lena Taylor told me to call you. So therefore, I knew. I get calls from New York, Washington, D.C., from France, from Spain, people wanting to interview me about this horrible law that they're doing in Milwaukee. There is no reason why we are not voting. There is no reason why we are not voting. There is no reason why we are not voting in Milwaukee. What I do on my job is educate people about the changes in the voting law. And I just want to focus on this just for a minute. The DMV receipt. There was a time you could go to the DMV and renew your driver's license and walk out with it that day. Right. That does not happen anymore. Right. You get a receipt with your face on it and all your vital information.
That happened in the budget.
Right.
By a governor.
By a governor.
You vote on November 6th.
Our IDs are processed in California and mailed to us because this governor thought we had enough jobs in Wisconsin and we didn't need that work anymore.
Educate.
That receipt is good for 45 days. If you haven't voted, and I encourage you to vote this weekend, that receipt is good for 45 days, and it is your legal ID. If you know anyone that doesn't have an ID, they can go to the DMV and say, I need an ID to vote with. It is free.
That's right.
If they don't say it, DMV will not say it.
The DMV will not give you any information. Lena heard this the other day. I assisted a woman who's 56 years old.
Wow.
She never had an ID. She never had her birth certificate. She never had a social security card.
Wow.
All she had was proof of residence. And in all of our jobs, people, we must respect people that don't know these things.
That's right.
We must teach people that don't know these things. I know I'm talking to the choir, but I reach out and I get these people. What can I do for you? I took the woman to the DMV, we filled out the application, and I stepped back, giving her the courtesy to do this herself. And the clerk said, I can't give you an ID. You don't have your birth certificate. You don't have your social security card. And I stepped up and I said, you have a petition process. You have a temporary ID that I know you can give her. He told us, well, the person that does this is gone for 45 minutes. I said, I will wait. That's right. So we waited, filled out the petition, and waited for the clerk to come in. The woman called me the other day. She still doesn't have her ID, which means now I'm going to have to do some investigation. Maybe she didn't fill out her form correctly. Anything could be wrong. All I'm saying is step out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Think with somebody who does not know. We need to teach people what they need to do.
Yes.
And I'm finished. I'm sorry. I have I'm sorry.
Get in your chair.
I'm sorry. On the tables, this is from,
You have questions.
okay, I know you have questions. Please take these things. I didn't bring them so I could take them back.
Where are they?
This is a trifold. It tells you everything you need to know for voting. You can now register online. You can change your address online. Please take this because it tells you. If you know anybody that needs help getting an ID, take this card. It's all there. Believe me, I packed it up. It tells you everything that you need when you go to the polls to vote. If they need help getting an ID, call that number, leave your name and telephone number, and I will get back to them in 24 hours. I gave you all stickers. Black vote matters. Black vote matters. Black vote matters. I am working with Souls to the Polls.
What is that?
Souls to the Polls encourages African Americans to vote. Just a few statistics. In Milwaukee, 41,000 fewer people voted in the 2016 election than in 2012. Over 29,000 of those non-voters were African Americans.
You mean
I'm
25,000 black people didn't vote in
And
2016?
over 9,000 of those people didn't have a photo ID. Now,
How many?
don't tell me you're not going to vote because you don't like the candidates. Go write in a name. That takes it away from those candidates that are running. You need to read and find out what power you have when you go to the polls to vote. You have a power.
Yes.
There are more of us, excuse me, Lena, than there are elected officials.
That's right.
The elected officials need to be afraid of what the people are going to do,
That's right.
not what the elected officials are going to do. Thank you. I'm